Hello everybody, my name is Connor and welcome to another One Piece Marco game. So we end up going first here and we are playing against Black Yellow Luffy. Actually, we end up going second. I forget to get to Dawn because I am brand new at this game, and we actually dropped the Ezo search and we are able to grab King Do, and that's about it. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but I did start running the Revolutionary Army Fire Fist because I just feel like it's a lot better than the Whitebeard Fire Fist. And it is not searchable, unfortunately. So opponent swings 6, and we end up getting another King Do. As I said last video, he loves me, and he drops a brand new, and it just whiffs it, unfortunately. But yeah, then he goes ahead and passes turn, and we get Pudding. I think Pudding might be decent here. I end up Marco abilitying, and I put Marco at the bottom. I just feel like he might get popped too easily. I don't know what my opponent is running for KO, but black deck is black deck, so he ends up taking that initial 6 hit, and we tap 3 and we peel off, getting more cards in hand. And there is a card that I did add into my deck. I did add a couple Vistas. I know I mentioned it last video, but I ended up cutting some Sanjis, some Ezos, kind of mixing my numbers around just because my deck was feeling a little clunky. I was feeling like it was bricking really easily. So I also, there's a couple things. I did want to add another Seaquake, but I only have 2, so I figured Vista isn't a bad choice. It's not my favorite choice, so I think I'm only running like 2, but yeah. Just tweaked the list a little bit, and it's feeling a lot better, to me at least. I've done a lot of practice with this list, took a video of it, and it is available on Patreon. If you are a Patreon, shout out to you. And my opponent goes ahead and swings 6, and I have plenty of 2Ks, so I just 2K out of it. Not feeling like getting smacked in the face, and the Rebecca comes down, and he ends up grabbing Jack back to his hand. And I am a little afraid of Jack, honestly. He's a big body, and he's got a pretty solid ability, so a little bit afraid of Jack here. So I go ahead and put the Dawn on to leader ability, and I put the Noogie at the bottom. I've got 1. I don't need 2 at the bottom, I said. And I am trying to figure out what I want to do. I think I'm thinking about playing Pudding because he did pick up the Jack and his hand is looking relatively full. So yep, I do go ahead and drop Pudding, and I'm hoping he doesn't see, yeah, there I am, praying that he doesn't get Jack again. Granted, I think I was a little too afraid of Jack. I feel like in this particular matchup, Jack could be dealt with pretty easily, because, you know, yeah, he's an 11 cost, but he's still an 8,000 power. And with, you know, Otama, leader ability, Fire Fist, things like that, he can definitely be dealt with. So my opponent's going ahead, just shuffling their deck. And I'm feeling pretty good about my hand. We have a lot of, you know, counter in hand, and my opponent, I want to say he was at 7 or 8 cards in hand, and now he's down to 5 for Pudding. And I end up swinging 7 here. I thought about Seaquaking the Rebecca, but I'd rather, you know, I could have Seaquaked the Rebecca. Don't know if it would have been a better play than just swinging 7, but yeah. So he's got 2 bodies on board, 6 cards in hand now because he just drew for turn, and I'm feeling pretty comfortable still. I'm feeling really in the zone here, if you will, and yeah, just waiting for my opponent to decide what he wants to do, trying to figure out what I've seen, what I want to do. Only put a King Do and a Peel Off in my trash. Yeah, so let's see, lots of thinking going on here. May speed some of this up, but he goes ahead and swings 5, and I'm thinking about giving him, I think, Vista here. Yeah, I go ahead and give him the Vista. Not against that. Another 5, so I wasn't thinking that he was gonna swing with brand new. And here I am trying to decide if I want to counter out. I have a good amount of counter in my hand, and I could counter out of this 5, but my biggest issue is, like, what if I need those cards later? So he ends up dropping Sabo, which is a pain in my butt, honestly. Because, yeah, I was definitely gonna I was gonna take care of that brand new one way or another. I mean, I can still take care of him the old-fashioned way, if you know what I mean, but he ends up discarding a Robin, and I think that was a Rebecca, if I saw correctly. And we end up top decking our ace, which is perfect. It's absolutely what I wanted here. I think we are at 8 Dawn. Yeah, looks like we're at 8 Dawn, so couldn't have asked for a better top deck, honestly. We end up getting Marco, and I like having Marco here, but I do have a Marco already. So, yeah, just trying to, like, I don't know, do some math or look cool. I end up putting that Marco at the bottom just because I know one game, one of my opponents was like, oh yeah, I knew you top decked that card because of where you pulled it from. So I'm trying, like, I think about that. I think about that a lot. So we minus brand new, making him a 0 power, and we swing the Ezo in there, and he's gone. He doesn't want to protect that brand new. I don't know why. He should have, obviously. No, I'm kidding. We then tap 7 to drop ace, and as I said last video, if you are playing Marco and you're not running this ace, you are a goofy goober. So yep, swinging 7, and that Sabo, it's a minus 3k power to 2 characters. So he ends up blocking with Sabo, and Sabo dies. We swing 6, and I mean, at this point, we get a Subaru out of his hand. So I'm feeling really confident. I'm feeling really good. I feel like I am playing this game very well. And don't you worry, guys, that will change. I'm looking. So, looking back on it, I did make a pretty bad misplay, as I mentioned in the last video, and that's why I wanted to talk about this game. I don't like posting losses, because I don't think you guys want to watch me lose, but I started my channel so I can learn, baby. So he ends up trashing a Fire Fist, using Fire Fist on Ace, or Ice Age, not Fire Fist, jeez Louise, wrong weather. And dropping that Jack, which is very scary, certainly. Jack, an 8k body, 11 cost, something silly like that. Swinging this 6, I have a lot of King Doos. What can I say? I apparently run like 12 in my deck. I give up 2 King Doos. Actually, because he has a 8 cost, he's actually swinging 7 with that 1 Dawn. New starter deck, Luffy. Pretty solid. Ugh, sorry, just got home from the gym and I am tired. Okay, so we end up getting leader ability. We get the Ezo. Don't really need the Ezo here, and so I'm trying to decide: do I drop Newgate, swing with drop Newgate, bump myself to 7? How do I want to do this? I want to get Jack off the board. I feel like that is important because he can either pop a character or he can just swing that monster. I don't think I have the counter to deal with that. So I put the Ezo at the bottom. As I said, I don't really utilize Ezo a lot. I minus Jack by 2k, making him a 6. That's what that little Sanji face is, or Sanji Jolly Roger, excuse me. And I am like, okay, I want to get rid of Jack, and I think I have to drop 2 Izos and pop him with Marco. Or 2 Otamas and pop him with Marco. I'm trying to do the math between popping him with popping him with, what is his name? Marco versus Seaquake. There it is. I drop another Otama. I'm not feeling great about dropping 2 2Ks to pop this character. And my opponent reminds me that Izo, he's not rested. He's still up. I tap 5 and I pop Jack with Marco. And honestly, I think this Marco, really, really great card. Really, it gets a powerful body on board and can clear something. So here I'm asking, wait, you're a 6K leader, right? And he's like, no, not anymore, because I don't have the body on board. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Like, this opponent, guys, if anyone knows, it's this guy. This guy's a very good player. So I swing the 5 with Pudding, get a card out of hand, swing 7 with Marco, and we get a hit, and we pass turn, and I'm definitely nervous. As I said, I had to drop 2 2Ks to get rid of that, Jack, but if my opponent has a Gecko coming, I definitely don't want Jack there. No, I just feel like that would make everything too easy. So he swings into Pudding, and I let her go. She's done more than enough, and he drops the Rebecca, grabbing back, I believe, the Sabo. Yeah, grabs back the Sabo, and then plays a Brook from hand, and he goes to KO Otama, and then he's like, wait, no, Izo has power behind them, like that one. And I'm like, ah, yes, valid. And he then drops the Sabo. I was planning, you can see Seaquake is up and ready. I was planning to get rid of that Brook, but not today. So, kind of unfortunate, but, you know, it is what it is. So, depending on what we end up drawing here, maybe we can do something. We do get the peel off, which is pretty nice. I know it's very nice when I'm feeling pretty low about cards in hand to get the peel off. And I top deck a Dofi. I'm okay with that. I think the play would be to drop Dofi and peel off and then swing aggressively, I feel, but let's see. I put the Seaquake at the bottom, just feeling like, okay, I've been holding onto this guy for too long. I don't think he's gonna be valuable. I think the Marco is more valuable. So, we will see. There is a chance I drop Marco blocker. Excuse me. So sorry. I might drop Dofi. I might drop Marco. I am trying to decide what to do here. I think I'm also trying to decide if I want to drop Newgate. Yeah, I end up dropping Marco, or excuse me, that's Dofi. Rearranging the top 5, and oh my god, I see my misplay coming, dude. Oh man. Yeah. So I put those guys on top. I'm thinking, okay, I'll get the Red Rock. And I kind of fumble because I'm like, I'll get Red Rock off of, you know, a leader ability next to, or I'll get Sanji off a leader ability. I'll draw on a Red Rock. I can remove a Gecko. He plays it. And I end up going, okay, so I swing, oh, what is that? 7 at the 2 power, the 2K power Brook. Yeah, I think at this point in the game, I definitely can tell I'm getting a little flustered. Do I minus the power to Sabo? I do minus the power to Sabo, making him a 4K. And I swing 7 at Brook. So, I mean, I don't hate that. It makes it really harder. It makes it harder for him to keep his blockers on board to, you know, block and counter. It makes it so it's like it's more cards out of his hand. As you guys can see, he has 2 cards in hand. Yeah, I think this is the start of my fumble, dude. I'm feeling really good, though, at this point. I feel like I'm keeping up with my opponent, which is really great, considering that last time I played Marco, I felt like I was just bricking, and it was not going well. So I end up swinging 7, and he goes ahead and blocks, and I tap 4 to play out a blocker Marco. Okay, I don't hate that play. Also, side note, my little dinosaur guys, his name is Chip because he's fallen and gotten chips. So, yeah, so he's asking, is this, which Marco is what? I know the blocker Marco is I have to discard a Whitebeard pirate, and the 5-cost Marco is a discard an event, I believe. If I mix those up, feel free to yell at me down below. So depending on what he does here, I am definitely nervous, but I'm thinking, okay, worst case scenario, I've got Sanji Newgate coming next turn. It's good. It is fine. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know why I did this, but my opponent making some choices. We may go ahead and fast forward a little bit, depending. Want to let him think it out. Alright, so he goes ahead and drops the Gecko, of course, and the Rebecca into Suru, minusing the Delphi, I believe, by 2. And I'm like, yep, here comes the Brook already. Like, I know what's happening. I'm just gonna move Delphi right into the glare, and yeah, we'll see. But yep, grabs the Brook and plays out the Brook, popping the Delphi. Very unfortunate. Puts the Dawn on leader, making him a 7k leader with that Dawn attached. Because he does have a 8-cost body in that Gecko. Swings 7. I think he swings 7 at Marco, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, he swings 7 initially, and I'm thinking about countering out, but he does change to swinging 8. And I'm looking to see, is it an event? Is it a Whitebeard card? So I trash the peel off to bring him back. Moving the Dawn just to kind of help, you know. I don't know how to properly illustrate that. And passing turn, I end up. So here it is, boys. I'm feeling like I'm keeping pace. I'm playing well. I'm doing pretty good for a scrub like me. I leader ability, and watch this bullshit. Why, Connor? Why? And for some reason, my head is telling me, oh yeah, it's Sanji pulls something from hand. So I just threw. I 100% just threw right there. And watch it happen. I minus the Sabo, and I end up, what do I end up swinging? I swing the Marco, I think at the Brook, just to get Brook off board. I don't want him to easily pop or get a minus, so Brook goes away. And I'm thinking about swinging Marco. Do I swing Marco? Oh yeah, I'm like, I'll swing 6 here. And I'm like, oh, well, that was dumb. I should have done Newgate. Alright, I was gonna play Newgate, and then I'm like, oh no. Yeah, you can see that I gotta put Newgate, and there I go, head and hands, like, get the gum Red Rock. My opponent was super nice. He was trying to figure out if there was a way that, I could take it back, and I was like, no, learning experience, dude. Let me just I'll pass turn. Like, yeah. If I dropped the new gate, I think it would have been different. But dropping the Sanji was honestly game throwing for me. So, I'm definitely, yeah, I'm definitely. You can tell because now I'm bouncing the camera like crazy. My God. I should try and stabilize. It just takes so long. It takes so long to do the stabilizing on Premiere. But my opponent goes ahead, drops a Sabo, drawing 2, trashing 2 with 2 cards in hand. Or 4 cards with the draw 2, trash 2. And I'm looking at Sanji because he's a gorgeous card. I love that card. I have the alt art, but it's in a display case. I don't want to play with it. I'm a Sanji fanboy. I don't know why. But, he ends up trashing the Brook and the Jack, which I was like, oh, okay. He's swinging this 8, I believe, at Marco, and I gotta let him go. I'm thinking I need to keep my blocker up for my life, and I end up taking this last life, and it's an ace, so I'm like, maybe I can do something here with ace. And he plays a Borsalino, and at this point I'm like, oh my god, there's so much on the board, I can't clear any of it. Like, oh no. Definitely with the one large body on the back foot, leader ability gets me a Dofi. I think at this point I put Newgate on top, thinking maybe I can do something. I'm trying to decide where I want to minus. I think minusing Gecko would have made him a 7k. So I minus the Borsalino. Not sure if I like that play. I think I am gonna drop the ace. And I'm thinking, man. Yeah. So I tap 7 and we play ace. And I definitely feel like I am out of sorts here. Because I think I should have. Yeah, I think I should have. If I piled some of that on the Gecko, it would have been harder for him to keep Gecko alive. But yeah, with the remainder of my Dawn, I think I go swing 7 at life. And I am hoping at this point to get him to use some of his blockers. My opponent is a very good player. I think he sees that he has this secured at this point. He ends up 2K'ing out with no cards in hand. You can see his little jazz fingers. I swing 7 at life, and he just takes it. And I think I definitely... Yeah, no, I don't like this turn at all. I think I should have prioritized removing the Gecko. I swing 10 at life, and he takes it, and yeah, with the way his board is versus my board and my hand, he's got it. I did get him down to 1 life at least. I don't know how much it's worth, but yeah, I think I could have. Because it would have brought Gecko down to what? Oh, hold on, let me do math real quick. Hold on, please hold. A 4K body, so it would have brought Gecko down to a 4K body. So he would have. I think it would have been a harder choice to choose. That probably would have been the way I got rid of blockers. But he ends up swinging with everything and getting the game. So yeah, there I am, head in hand. I definitely threw with that Sanji play, and I don't know why. I've never done that before, and then I do it twice in this night. So. Don't know what that was about, but yeah, you know, it happens. I did end up getting, like, prizing. Unfortunately, that shop is no longer doing tournaments. This was our last tournament there. So, gotta rearrange my schedule and go somewhere else to get you guys a couple more games. But I'm gonna call it there, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked this video, hit that like button down below. Helps me out more than you can ever know. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.